All right, good. Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Morning. How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the Hat and Beard Show. Appreciate you and all that you do for us. Guys, today we've got some stories to talk about. Some things. Last week it was a bit of a shock to some of the NFL world that the Raiders went out and released Christian Wilkins, right? Their big free agent acquisition. Now he was suffering with I think a foot injury at the end of last season, something like that. Anyway, they did sign this injured player, but abruptly was released. We'll talk about that next. But former Dolphins star Christian Wilkins released by Raiders. But fans should pump the brakes about hoping for a reunion. That's going down to Miami, talking about the Miami Dolphins, because their defense is looking not too shabby-ish. They really don't have much on the secondary, but they do have a pretty good pass rush, let's be honest. And if Wilkins could be what he once was, then maybe he would be a nice addition. But you're asking yourself, hey, Hat, why are you just jumping into the story? What's going on? Well, that's because, Christian Wilkins was released by the Raiders. And that's because he is playing a little smooch banditry with some of the other players. And we'll talk about that. Source coming from ESPN.com, Christian Wilkins kiss. What? The kiss? He kissed another player on the head. And it made him uncomfortable. Now, Christian Wilkins has actually had a bit of a history of being a little touchy-feely and weird with players. He was fined a couple years back for playing a little grab and tickle with Josh Allen's little Josh Allen while on the field. And it ended up costing him some dollars. So this is now starting to be a little bit of a repeated habit of his where he gets a little too weird. I don't want to really say anything that's, he's, if that's your thing, then make it be your thing. You know what I'm saying? But don't be doing all weird shit, especially in the locker room, buddy. And then we're going to go ahead and take it back home where we all want to talk about the things we want to talk about here. The Detroit Lions, this did come out, I think it was announced yesterday late in the afternoon or shortly after the show got over. The Detroit Lions to rest starters and 2 rookies in preseason game with the Chargers. After putting their starters through an intense scrimmage, the Lions are planning on resting a handful of players on Thursday. That's right, Thursday kicks off. Thursday kicks off the NFL season. Preseason week 1, Hall of Fame game, and our Lions are playing against the Los Angeles Chargers, which is cool. I'm so glad that it's us, and finally, I'm just grateful to have the NFL season underway, guys. No more Sundays without football from now until February. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep it still hometown, obviously. Lions sideline report. It took just one emoji for Terrion Arnold to send relief through the Lions fan base. Arnold has been reported as hurt during training camp a few times this month. And we're going to kind of poke around and see maybe what's going on here because, look, unfortunately, I feel like I kind of maybe put it out there and cursed us a little bit. I was like, you don't want to have hamstring injuries in camp because it kind of FUCT fucks the whole year for you. Look at what Justin Jefferson might be having to go through. Oh, how nice. How convenient would that be for Lions if Justin Jefferson ended up suffering from a nagging hamstring injury all season long. Only ended up with like a 700-yard season. Wouldn't that be glorious for us? But it is a little concerning that Terrion Arnold has had a couple of times pop up on the injury list, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of see what's going on here a little bit and what we can speculate with it. Today's going to be kind of a freewheeling show, and if we got time at the end of the show, we're going to make fun of Joey Swole because he's a little bitch. he's a little bitch. So. That being said, our storyline and thumbnail boy is Christian Wilkins. And we also have a poll related to him. Should the Lions sign the Smooch Bandit? Right? Now, should the Lions go after him? Now, why would I put? Well, we have had some injuries along the defensive front. And, some people are like, oh, we're starting to run a little thin there. So for pure engagement's sake, I decided to put that question out there. So far, wow, you guys are really going bananas. 5 votes so far. And it, nice. I gave you guys 3 options, and hopefully you understand what we're going with here is your options are no, no, man. And I believe you'd get your ass kicked saying something like that, man. If you want to know what that's from.
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
There you go. Those are the options because I don't believe that there is any situation where the Detroit Lions need to be signing or bringing in the basket case that is Christian Wilkins. Clicking around here. Sorry, guys. Let's get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then now you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Morning to everybody, by the way. I know we're kind of freewheeling it this morning, being a little loose with it. Yesterday was pretty successful. Monday, dude, I had some serious brain fog going on Monday, but yesterday was wildly successful, honestly, as terms and views. We picked up 5 new subscribers yesterday. I don't know, we kind of split the show into 2 different directions. We talked a little bit of things that are not necessarily NFL related, so I don't know if that's really what drew people in, but you know what? I'll take it. So, guys, obviously do all the things today. Press all my bells and buttons. Subscribe to the channel. Share this around. Like the video. If you're watching this afterwards, go ahead and feel free to comment down below. We might actually be placing a pinned comment down below. Yeah, look, I'm trying new things, okay? I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable by putting a pinned comment down below. So just, do your thing here, guy. Well, do your thing here, guy. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So, former Dolphin star Christian Wilkins released by Raiders, but fans of the Miami Dolphins should pump the brakes about hoping for a reunion. Look at this goofy bastard. And yeah, Brent actually hit it. I think it was Brent that said it. Hang on. Let me double check here. I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, Brent DeWitt. Lots of past questionable behavior about the smooch bandit. And he's a little bit more than flaky. He's fucking goofy, dude. He's a fucking goofy bastard. And yeah, dude. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Jeanette, Brent, Sam Armstrong. I believe Chase. Yeah, what's up, Chase? Good morning, dude. Frank, the Tank East Side. What's up, dude? F all of the North except for the Lions. Exactly, my dude. And we got football tomorrow. Oh my God, am I so ready for football tomorrow, guys? Let's go. There are stunning developments, and then there's what just happened between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. Defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. Wilkins, who left the Dolphins after 5 stellar years of play to sign with the Las Vegas Raiders ahead of the 24 season for a monster $27.5 million per year contract that guaranteed him $57.5 million in total. Yeah, just a little walking around money, just a little pocket change, I just need a little walking around money. You know what I'm saying? A little $57.5 million to kiss dudes on the head and grab Josh Allen's pee-pee. Hey, he's been released by the Las Vegas Raiders due to a dispute over his ailing foot. That's what they're claiming. But the Raiders, according to Ian Rahal, the Raiders and defensive tackle Christian Wilkins have had an ongoing dispute over his foot. He's not sending them toe pics. He said, hey, you got to pay to see my toes. And whether or not he needed to have surgery. The team wanted him to, and he declined after several opinions. He's now been released, and so there's an expected fight over guaranteed money, right? Yes, yes, very good. Very good. Muddying up the waters with how he's going to get his contract because, it really kind of comes down to the verbiage in his contract. Was he, expected to have a certain timeline with injuries like this? You know what I mean? Was he expected to undergo after multiple, opinions or whatnot? Was there a level of expectation where whatever rehab you were doing is not acceptable, so now we have to either separate ties with you, exercise a clause that allows us to opt out? Because really what it looks like, at least in the separation reasons, right, is because he's not upholding his end of the contract, right? And this is something that a lot of people, be it that I do work with union contracts daily, a lot of people don't really seem to understand that, the contract is the way the contract is. You can't just gripe because you feel like, when it comes to grievances, people want to file grievances, and I'm like, well, show me in the contract where you want to grieve. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow the verbiage in the contract. So, and I'm more than certain that before he signed this deal, and this could be part of his agent's fault for maybe not really explaining to him how this is going to work. Maybe there was verbiage in there that just kind of what got overlooked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how often do you read the fine print? Now we're talking $57.5 million in guarantees. I'm having a lot of people proofread, reread, and redline some things out of a contract before I'm signing my ass to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Wilkins was a snap-taking machine for Miami from 21 to 23 and logged in excess of 1,000 total snaps. Wow, between defense and special teams in 22 and 23 before leaving the Dolphins. He suffered a Jones fracture in his left foot in October of last season. That's right, it was a Jones fracture. And I'm not trying to, there's no pun intended with this, but isn't the Jones fracture what Kevin Jones had when he, kind of fizzled out of the league? It's just like a break of one of the small bones in your foot, kind of in the ankle section, possibly. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up, Lion King? Good morning. Hey, Mr. Detroit City, brother. What's going on? Dude kissing dudes. I know, dude. I don't think that the Lions are going to be cool with Chris Wilkins coming in and being the old smooch bandit, trying to kiss Jared Goff on the head. You know what I'm saying? Limiting him to 5 total games and less than 25% of total snaps played for the Raiders last season. Wilkins would be intermittently spotted in a walking boot throughout the course of the offseason as his rehab program appeared failed to generate any traction toward a full return to the field. Now, according to reports, Wilkins and the Raiders were in conflict on whether or not Wilkins needed to go under the knife for corrective surgery. They're not just going to, can't just pay you to sit there. I can't just pay you to wear a walking boot. You know what I'm saying? That's not how this works. The indication suggested that Wilkins declined to have the procedure, which has prompted in his disputed release from the team. Wilkins has reportedly filed a dispute with the NFL Players Association over his released designation. So he's going to try and file a grievance with the union. Great. Great job. Thanks. You're just making fucking more work for other people because this is look, I'm a union guy, but this is kind of one of the fucking problems with unions, dude. God damn it. The idea of reuniting Christian Wilkins with the Dolphins may be an enticing one for Miami fans, but given the team's desire to mitigate injury risk and their investments into young players along the defensive interior, signing Wilkins back for anything other than a veteran minimum contract feels like unnecessary risk for the sake of nostalgia. The Dolphins, after several efforts to ultimately re-sign Wilkins before he left in free agency, have moved on. They've moved on, bud. She's engaged, bro. She's engaged to somebody else, dude. Yeah, you're not the one, dude. It ain't you. It's time to move on. Time to head up for greener pastures. And unfortunately, with your walking boot, you're going to be hopping to greener pastures. That's before you even consider the question if Wilkins, who is not ready for the start of training camp, will even be able to suit up this season as he's pogo sticking around facilities. If Miami wants to spend money on defensive tackle, there's a very deserving one already in-house who has been hoping for a contract extension this summer. Well, there you go. I don't know who that is because I don't follow the Dolphins. So good for them. Good for them. Stand on your own 2 feet. Don't re-sign this goofy bastard. You know what I'm saying? So why did Christian Wilkins, after signing just a Massive deal. Why did he get released? Okay, well, source from ESPN.com. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video around with all of your friends. It's the only way to help us grow. We're on a freight train, package on the way. You know what I'm saying? We are trying. Christian Wilkins' kiss made Raiders player uncomfortable. Christian Wilkins, who was released by the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday, kissed a fellow player on the head, and the teammate took offense to it, according to Adam Schefter. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry, man. Like, not to sound all, like, woke or whatever, but, you know, stay in your bubble, stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? What? Bro. Why are you kissing other players on the head, man? And, like, not for nothing, but, like, who the fuck do you think you are, bro? To just, like, kiss a grown man on the head? What? What the fuck? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe you'd get your ass kicked doing something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? The incident is not the sole reason, though, that Wilkins was cut. Sources said. Sources said. Define sources. Source? You mean like a team source, a spokesman for the team? Did you talk to like the ownership group or a coach, or is it just sort of defined source? Like some fucking guy in the parking lot who had an opinion? Is that your source? Is that your source? That's not the sole reason. It's not what I think. You're talking to some dude. You know what I'm saying? Just some guy. Some guy is my source, right? Recovering from Jones fracture, which he suffered back in October. We talked about that. Because of how Wilkins has treated the rehab injury, the Raiders voided the remaining $35 million of guaranteed money left in his contract for June 4th, sources said. He was released with the designation of terminated vested veteran, sources told Schefter. Wilkins asked the Players Association to file a grievance on his behalf, and the union did so on last Thursday. So last week they filed a grievance because, look, the Raiders, and I'm not one to really be like on the side of management or like, yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? But, brother, it takes two to tango. You are not. I know it's guaranteed money, right? But it's not guaranteed. There are no guarantees in life other than death and taxes, okay? There are clauses in contracts. Also, just so we're entirely clear, like, there are courts in the U.S. that you can take contracts to, and judges, regardless of how, like, you signed a contract, you know, maybe it was or wasn't under duress, or it's such an outlandish contract, you know what I'm saying? Say, well, for a hypothetical thought exercise, we'll just say, you signed I will give you my firstborn child in exchange for a Whopper. You know what I'm saying? That's such an insane contract, but you signed it. You signed a contract. Well, a judge can go, this is stupid, and void out the entire contract, okay? So it is possible to break contracts. It's very easy to break contracts, especially when you're getting to such high dollar contracts, okay? These things are going to be pretty well worded so that both parties have access to the guaranteed money on the player side and ways for the team to get the fuck out of paying that money. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Because look, man, look. It takes two. It takes two, baby, to get paid. Okay? If you're not willing to actually rehab the injury. Now, let's just say that he actually was going through with team, I don't want to say required, but team encouraged rehab, and it just wasn't working. Well, that's an entirely different thing. If you are actually medically having to retire from the NFL, that's an entirely different thing. Take the medical retirement. But you're just being fucking lazy. And you want to be lazy and get your guaranteed money. You don't want to put in the work. Look, dude, it takes a little bit of work, man. You're going to shit away $35 million because you want to be fucking lazy. Great job, asshole. Last week's incident happened inside the team meeting room, one source told ESPN. That interaction was, quote, playful, but the teammate didn't see it that way. Yeah, well, just because it wasn't a playful, dude. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude. But like, what the fuck, dude? I get horsing around, and I'm not one to be like, consent and personal, don't touch. Like, people are entitled to personal autonomy, but like, you don't just fucking kiss a grown man on the head and expect, like, be grateful. But honestly, let's be real. Let's be real. It could have gone entirely different for Christian Wilkins in his Wilkins in his one-footed ass. He's a one-legged man potentially walking into an ass-kicking contest. That doesn't generally work out so well for the one-legged man. You know what I'm saying? A complaint was filed to the Raiders HR department. Oh, good. Let's go get HR involved, which investigated the incident, a source told Schefter, which is what you have to do. But, yeah, dude, fuck HR, man. Fuck them to the moon. Fuck them to the moon and feed them HR cake. No comment. We have made a decision on what we're going to do. We're moving on with it. The Raiders coach Pete Carroll said on Tuesday, we'll see how it unveils itself in time. Defensive tackle Adam Butler said that the team has, quote, moved on from the situation, but added, quote, whatever you're going through as a person, athlete, non-athlete, or whatever, or whoever, whatever your struggle is, if you've got something going on in your life, just talk to somebody. Get some therapy. Somebody out there in this world will hear you out. Or I'll give you an even easier route. Get some Jesus. Go to church. If you're a scared motherfucker, go to church. If you're a crazy motherfucker, go berserk. Last offseason, Wilkins signed a 4-year, $110 million deal, including $84.75 million guaranteed with Vegas. He had spent the previous 5 seasons with Miami, blah, blah, blah. He collected 17 tackles, 2 sacks, and 6 QB hits in just 5 games in 24 before undergoing season-ending surgery for the Jones fracture. Well, obviously, that surgery didn't work, and his rehab hasn't been working out. And they're like, hey, you need to go in for another surgery, dude. That's how you're going to get your money. And look, dude. Look, man. Look, bro. Look, I'll split the baby here with you, brother. You can lie. You can lie. You can lie. You can lie. You can lie, 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 lie. Go get the surgery and then be like, my foot still hurts. I did what you wanted me to do. I'm doing the fucking rehab. Motherfucker, if you don't want to play, milk them and lie. You're going to get cut eventually. You'll still get more money than you're getting now. You're not going to shit out and lose $35 million, but no. No. You want to be lazy. You want to kiss dudes on the fucking forehead. What the fuck, man? I really think that is fucking weird, dude. That's so fucking weird. That's so fucking weird, man. Let's watch this thing from, see what this video from ESPN says, huh? It's 32 seconds long. I don't even know what this is.
Kevin, what happens with Wilkins from here? Let's push it forward a little bit.
Yeah, there's an NFLPA grievance, so we'll see what happens with that $35 million, and then he's going to be a free agent. I mean, obviously, when Pete Carroll says there's no clear path to his return, that's going to weigh heavily on teams. Mike Vrabel already said that he recruited Christian Wilkins at Ohio State. Obviously, Wilkins ended up at Clemson. But the Clemson element, does he go to New York with Dexter Lawrence? Does he go to Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence? There's all sorts of possibilities here. There's going to be interest, even with the health questions. The talent is undeniable.
I was reading the chat while that was going on. That video I could give a shit less about that stupid little video as everything that we just read. Lion King, you're funny as shit, man. Thanks, dude. Thanks, man. He says I'm in the wrong business, that I can sing a little bit. Thanks, man. I just like fucking around, dude. I just like fucking around. All right, what do we got going on here in the chat? What are you guys saying up in here? Allen starts Hall of Fame game. Yes, Frank, I totally agree with you on that, dude. Yeah, Sam, and that's the thing, dude. Like, you got to be now. We don't know who the player was, but Sam Armstrong says he made the player so uncomfortable. He went to HR. Now that's saying a lot because these are like dudes, yo. You know what I'm saying? These are like how many times have you guys gone to HR in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, not very often. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of a bitch move. All right, like HR is more or less there. To help advocate and encourage the division in the workforce, also splitting the dollar by splitting the workforce in half and adding double, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to get into the whole women in the workforce conversation right now. But the one thing that I did think is like they made him so uncomfortable, but my first thought was like, man, what fucking broccoli-headed Zoomer did he kiss that made him uncomfortable? He's like, I gotta go to HR, and I bet you he gave him that like Gen Z stare while it was happening. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dude, oh man. Ironic that he was released due to a fit issue because allegedly he was tickling teammates' feet. No, Brent, that's funny as hell, man. Oh, imagine being 6'5", 330, going to HR for another dude kissed you on the head. Well, that's like my first thought, Sam, was like, who could it be? Like a little broccoli-headed fucker? And then I couldn't stop thinking, like, how funny it would be if he kissed little-ass bald fucking Hunter Renfro. Like, little-ass Hunter Renfro with the fucking, like, flesh yarmulke. You know what I'm saying? He just walks up. Or what if it was like some DJ Reader size dude sitting there like all big as shit in this little-ass, like, HR chair, like, oh, yeah, well, he kissed me on the head, and I didn't really like it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dude. Wilkins, choo-choo has gone around the bend. You nailed it, Janelle Hollis. He's gone absolutely. This dude's, to tie into yesterday's, maybe he's got some wild-ass CTE going on, but instead of doing violent shit, he just starts fucking tickling feet and shit, dude, and kissing dudes, grabbing Josh Allen's pee-pee. You know what I'm saying? A kissing booth in the shower. Wow, buddy's on the list. Oh, dude. Any thoughts on Christian Wilkins' shower scene kissing booths? Bro, is this did he really have a kissing booth, bro? Dude, seriously? Oh, my God, bro. If he really... Mr. Detroit City... What a fucking weirdo, man. What a fucking... He apparently, Crosby said, the shower's got... Oh, no. Oh, dude. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that whole thing. Nope, I'm good. I'm so good on that whole thing. That fucking weird ass dude, yo. I'm good. I'm so good on that. I'm straight on with Christian Wilkins. He's a fucking weirdo, dude. He's a fucking weird guy, man. Hey, we got 12 votes in the chat or in the poll. Don't forget to engage in that. There, should the Lions sign the Smooch Bandit? And your options are no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked, man. Walking away with it. 42% of you say the strong no. That's fair. But I think the I believe you'd get your ass kicked, 33%, is probably going to end up being the correct answer. There are no real wrong answers, but I think there are stronger answers compared to the other answer. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense why Max was looking to leave Vegas so bad. Yeah, dude. Doesn't that make sense, bro? Doesn't that kind of like make more sense now? And, oh, man, I hate thinking about like how absolutely awesome it would have been if, oh, dude, could you imagine a world? Could you imagine a world where Max Crosby lined up opposite Aiden Hutchinson? Oh, it would just be Michigan mayhem all over the place, dude. And seriously, props to Max Crosby for getting that massive contract, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, donating so much money to Eastern Michigan's athletics program that, first of all, they named the field after him, which is fucking awesome. But, like, dude, historically, Eastern Michigan is, like, one of the worst football programs in all of in the entire history of college football. Like, Eastern Michigan is just, they just suck so bad, dude. And so, like, good on him to, like, give a little bit, love back to the school, maybe kind of get some money and so they can get some new stuff, maybe bring in some guys, maybe boost the program up a little bit. I like it when the MAC does well, man. I like Western Michigan, the Chippewas, Central Michigan's kind of whack, and Eastern Michigan's just gross. Ypsilanti's gross, but like you want to see the in-state schools do well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's what's up. You know what I'm saying? kissing that south mouth for real. All I'm saying is, maybe Christian Wilkins knew what was coming and he was just practicing for OnlyFans. He knew he was going to lose out on that money, and pretty soon it's going to be of.com/Smooch Bandit Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's funny. All right, so press all my bells and buttons, guys, if you haven't already. Do all the things. We're going to go ahead and get down into Detroit Lions news. Prideofdetroit.com. Detroit Lions to rest starters. 2 rookies in preseason game versus the Los Angeles Chargers. After putting their starters through an intense scrimmage, the Lions are planning on resting a handful of players on Thursday. And I think that's exactly what we all expected. Over the past 2 seasons, the Detroit Lions have developed a habit of pushing their starters hard in practice and then resting them in the game. With 4 preseason games on the docket in 2025, the Lions appear to be sticking with their approach. After holding a scrimmage at practice on Tuesday, Coach Dan Campbell said that they plan to rest their starters against the Los Angeles Chargers during the Thursday Hall of Fame preseason game. Quote, "This will be our first scrimmage that we will have in camp here. Most of it will focus on the group of guys that I don't see playing in a couple of days for the Chargers," Campbell said on Tuesday. "So we're really going to get them a number of reps here and get them some good intensity. We do really maximize," and that's something that I think gets overlooked, is how you can maximize these scrimmages against other teams, because it is, again, NFL higher level, not quite game speed, but it's a good way to really polish off any offseason rust on your vets. And then you go ahead and you utilize the preseason game action for the guys scrapping for a roster spot, for the guys you want to see a little bit more out, not necessarily out of them, but you need to see more of them so that you can get a little bit, what you're going to get out of JG16. You know what you're going to get out of Waymo and Amon-Ra and Gibbs and Monty and Laporta and all the names, all the guys, right? The foundation of the team, you don't need to see what's in preseason out of them. Some of the rookies, you might want to see a little bit out of them. Some of your free agent acquisitions, the bottom end of the roster guys. I hate to say it, that's not condescending or demeaning to the guys, but the reality is what the reality is. You know what I'm saying? Despite previously suggesting the team's, quote, young guys were going to get a much-needed rep in preseason, Campbell appears to have had a change of heart with a few rookies, including first-round pick Tyleek the Freak Williams and second-round pick Tater Ratledge, both of whom have been repping with the starters all camp. That's I guess I'd stand on that. I'd be 50-50 on that. I'd like to see those guys a little bit of action, just because I want to see the guys in action, because I just want to see what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to play Ratledge or Leak this game, Campbell's clarified, but we're talking about as a staff, and it's like, why don't we just wait? Maybe play him in Atlanta. So I think we'll hold tight. To get an idea of how many players the Lions are resting, it's worth noting that the first preseason game in 24, they rested 27 players, and in 23, they rested 28. So who is likely going to be sitting out Thursday night? We tracked the starters from Tuesday's scrimmage to see which players have had a significant amount, and this is the list. Obviously, it's all of the guys. JG16, Gibbs and Monty. All of the wide receivers, except for the rookies, Sam Laporta and Brock Wright. The entire offensive line, including Dan Skipper. Got to remember, Dan Skipper's probably getting all the first-team reps at tackle, with Taylor Decker being on the PUP list. Hutch and Marcus Davenport, DJ Reader, Tyleek the Freak Williams, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, and Alex Anelzone, obviously the linebackers, DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold, and Brian Branch and Avonte Maddox. I would like to see... Well, I get where they're at with Marcus Davenport. Obviously, you don't want anything to happen to him, and I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I do like seeing Tyleek get a little bit of less exposure, because we are a little thin at the defensive tackle spot. Now, he has been having, in my opinion, pretty solid camp, and I think he's going to be a lot better than what analysts and experts pegged him as coming out of the draft. I think Brad Holmes knows more about football than anybody else in football right now, and he's seen something in Tyleek that we're all going to see this year. What I'm very excited about is that we should be seeing a lot of the rotationary guys along the defensive line. So your Pat O'Connors, maybe some Roy Lopez action. Obviously, Wingu's injured. So you see on the edges, El Qadim Muhammad, our boy, the Egyptian Hammer. I want to see our boy. I want to see the Egyptian magician, the Hammer, Hassanin. I want to see him in action. I want to see him in game speed. I want to see Ahmed Hassanin, the Egyptian magician, take over the Hall of Fame game. Wouldn't that just be fucking awesome? And just silence everybody about the defensive end room. You know, just put a fucking pin right in that idea. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that'd be awesome, dude. Ratledge and Mahogany each subbed out one series during scrimmage, allowing Kyoto Awashika to take reps at both left and right guard. If Awashika does not play on Thursday, it will be a strong indicator that his spot on the roster is safe. Well, he is pretty much your lead interior offensive lineman replacement. The guard, but he can play both guard spots. Does he play him necessarily at a high level? High enough, but you know, let's not forget he did have to start in the NFC title game against the San Francisco 49ers and didn't necessarily play all that well. Skipper subbed out a series in favor of Jamarco Jones, but with limited depth at tackle. The Lions are expected to play Jones. Good. I want to see action out of him. It's also possible that the lack of depth could force Skipper into action, but that's less clear. Now, I think you're going to see a lot of Jones and a lot of old chubby-headed Colby Sorsdahl. And let's not forget the Michigan Yeti, not Giovanni Manu, Manu Ginobili. Damn it, it was Giovanni Manu. God damn it. Damn it, I'm so fucking stupid. Anal Zone could slowly work his way back after returning from a hammy. Give way to Zach Cunningham on a series of 2. Anal Zone surely won't play, but Cunningham's status is still in flux, but I would expect him to be out there. Arnold exited practice after 3 series and was evaluated for a hamstring injury, so don't expect to see him to play. I wouldn't expect to see him to play anyway. He is a huge piece to our defense, and we need him to really step up. So, speaking of Terrion Arnold, wow, hat and beard, wow, you put a show map together. Look at how everything just flows into itself. Wow, hat and beard. Wow, that's so good. I'm gonna like the video, and I'm gonna give you a subscribe. I'm gonna subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna ring that notification bell. I'm gonna like the video, and I'm gonna share this around with all my friends because of the show map that you built out. Wow, you did such a good job. So professional, hat and beard, so professional. Thank you, fans. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. That's very awesome of all of you. Let's go ahead and poke around in the chat real quick before we get rolling into this topic. Turns out the ghost of Carl Nassib haunts the. Oh, Mr. Detroit City. That is funny, dude. Oh, man. In case you guys didn't know, Carl Nassib's gay. Oh, that was really good, dude. That was nicely done. Nicely done, brother. Good news for Wilkins is that the NFL is an equal opportunity employer, so being bi shouldn't matter. Hell yeah, Brent DeWitt. The NFL is very woke, dude. Ready to watch the 2 deep kick ass. Hell yeah, dude. That's exactly it, Sam. Is like, you know, there is a small group of people who follow the NFL through the offseason, right? A very small group of people. And then that group of people grows a little bit for the preseason. But let's be honest. Us preseason junkies, we're football junkies. We know what the preseason is. And we're all like, hell yeah, I can't wait to watch Avonte Maddox and Lawrence Strickland get some serious reps, dude. Who the fuck are those guys? They're backup players, but I love the depth that we have. In case this happens, the athleticism, I want to see what these guys bring to the table. Man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, we are some serious football junkies, dude, and I love seeing the reserves. I love knowing the roster top to bottom, dude. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Lion King. Since the Lions are elite, preseason teams play a lot of starters. The Steelers did last year. Well, the Steelers are a elite franchise historically, but a middling team the past couple 5 years or so. Hammer and Hooker time. I hope number 1 to see progress from Hooker. Brent, you know, and I love it, Brent DeWitt, because you keep me sane and kind of steady on the Hendon Hooker thing. I really go back and forth on Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? I want Hendon Hooker to be the guy. I haven't seen it out of him yet, man. You know what I'm saying? So I personally, I'd expect to see Kyle Allen get the start. And do these guys just split the game 50-50? Do we just go first half Kyle Allen, second half Hendon Hooker? I mean, who's really behind them that's going to be vying for a spot other than just trying to get some reps at the back end of the fourth quarter so that you can get a little bit of speed so that you can be the scout team QB. And are we going to carry 3 quarterbacks into the regular season? We haven't historically. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the battle between Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker should heat up on Thursday. It's something that we should be keeping an eye on, something that we don't want to keep an eye on because we don't want that to have to be the ripcord that we got to pull. But, you know, in case of fire, break glass. And I'd like to make sure you got to at least PM your systems to make sure that they work. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Sideline report. It took just one emoji for Terrion Arnold to send relief throughout the Lions fan base. He's been reported as hurt during training camp a few times already, and that is not good. Not good at all. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold had to leave training camp again due to a leg injury. This time, he suffered a hammy on Tuesday. Yeah! Yeah! That's how we... Yes! Can't wait. What's up, Kerry Simtich? Good to see you, brother. Good morning. Boy, don't you just love having hamstring injuries on very important players in the preseason, in training camp? Because they don't linger all season long. They don't limit a player. As prior to the Thursday night Canton preseason game, while Arnold didn't have to be carted off the field, he simply gingerly walked off to the sideline. What the fuck do you mean gingerly? What's that supposed to mean? How do gingers walk? Huh? Now, what if I were to say, I got a field and I walked in? I'm not saying that. Come on now. I'm not letting you clip that. But you know what I'm saying. What do you mean by gingerly? How do gingers walk? Explain to me how gingers walk. It was another reminder of his injury woes this offseason that have luckily not led to any serious time missed. The sophomore defender is expected to have a breakout season with the Lions after the addition of DJ Reed to the depth chart. DJ Reed is a significant step up from Carlton Davis. Now, I thought Carlton Davis played, really well for us. He was definitely better than Cameron Sutton. You know what I'm saying? Way better than him. At least he didn't beat the shit out of his wife and then run from the cops. But DJ Reed is a massive upgrade, dude. And these two guys should have as long as his hammy doesn't hinder or limit Terrion Arnold, as long as he's not dealing with it all season long, he should continue on the ascension that he was having post-bye week in 2024. Arnold probably knows just how big of a story another leg injury suffered in training camp would be. So he managed to do Lions fans a solid by quoting a post from Detroit Sports Podcast about the end of practice with a simple emoji message. Doo-doo-doo! So, does that really constitute an emoji? Do colorful exclamation points really constitute an emoji? What is an emoji at this point? Are question marks emojis? If I start putting numbers down, what will numbers start to become? I am so confused. I used to know what it was, but now I'm old, and whatever it is scary and confusing. Arnold continues to deal with leg injuries. He clearly didn't feel like he had walked off carefully after the Lions' last play of the day, but he was shut down early, so he obviously exited. So there obviously existed some concern about exacerbating another leg injury from the second-year player. Man, that was a bit of a tongue twister. I'm kind of stupid. It's far too early in the offseason to be worried about getting reps for Arnold when he's already impressed almost everyone watching camp in person, especially as he keeps dealing with these injuries. So he's still performing well in camp with injuries. It's unclear whether the team will try to lighten his load leading up to the start of the year or if they'll shut him down entirely to prevent another issue. But between this and his previous calf injury, it's clear Arnold is dealing with some pestering health issues. Still, if he managed to deal with them and dominate on defense, then perhaps Detroit will simply let him work through the leg issues as he ramps back up to NFL speed. Which, not the part of the body you want to see a corner have hurt. How hurt is he? I mean, is he really hurt? Or are they just protecting him from himself? Probably protecting him from himself. I mean, he walked gingerly off the field and didn't need to be carted off. But, what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Clearly, I think he's going to be fine. Let's just not tilt into the direction of, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? After last season's injury woes led to an almost completely decimated defense for the Lions, they should be prioritizing player health over practice time and reps. While the Green Bay Packers, the team's opponent in Week 1, are going to be a tough first matchup, or Aiden Hutchinson's going to eat Jordan Love alive. He's just gonna walk out and put a little bib on with a fork and a knife, and he's just gonna walk out onto the field, and he's gonna and just chop him in half, and then just get a nice sear on Jordan Love and just eat him alive. It feels extremely important that they head into the competition with a healthy Terrion Arnold. It is, and it isn't. It is and it isn't. We do have good depth. But yes, it is important that he is ready to go come the start of the regular season. With him happily conducting interviews during training camp, no sign of discomfort, though it's safe to assume Arnold will continue to practice as he has been, even after his calf injury. So the big balls on Terrion Arnold. This type of player we like. Gritty. He's gritty. He's just out there gritting it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are all about here in the Motor City, guys. So I'm going to walk on over to the chat, see how you guys are doing one final time. Well, not one final time, but kind of towards the end of the show here. Also, waiting to see what our new running back looks like from the UFL looks like. He was all pro last 2 years in the minor league. You talking about Toa Tau? Didn't we sign Toa Tau to kind of play fullback? I'm not exactly sure, Brent. What's up, Carey? He nailed yesterday because Captain Jack. Yeah, dude, I did see that, dude. Captain Jack fucking lit up Gibbs. You did. He spoke it into existence. We should sign Wilkins just for the fact that he would do whatever he could to get his hands on the sweet baby Caleb. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. He'd be like, give me some of that sweet, sweet Caleb Williams. Maybe he'd make him cry. Maybe Caleb Williams. Maybe Wilkins comes in and sacks him and then just gets up, kisses him on the head, and then Caleb Williams runs over to the sideline, hops up into the crowd, starts crying, putting a piece of paper over his face because he's a bitch. Hey, Bears. Caleb Williams is a bitch. Holy, can't wait to stop. Think Hooker is going to have his best game so far. Let's hope, Carey. Let's hope, because I would like to see Hendon Hooker be that guy, but you get the proof is in the pudding. In my opinion, Game 2 is going to be a slaughter for bend over mouths. Hell yeah, dude. It's going to be rough, dude. It's going to be rough. Caleb Williams looks like shit in camp so far, at least from what I've seen. And I've said it from, about 4, 5, 6 weeks now. I really think Ben Johnson is just Matt Patricia 2.0. It's just going to be a disaster. It's just going to be a disaster. He's trying to do something that he isn't qualified to do. And I don't mean be a head coach. I mean be a head coach. He's going to try to be Dan Campbell. He's going to try to be Dan Campbell. And he's not Dan Campbell. Whereas Aaron Glenn has a possibility of being a more successful head coach because Aaron Glenn is Aaron Glenn. He's going to coach his team like Aaron Glenn. He's not going to coach his team like Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? But I think Ben Dover Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, small PP Benedict Arnold Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, Ben Dover Johnson, Osama Ben Johnson. I really think he's just going to fail miserably, trying too hard to be Dan Campbell. How's the poll looking so far? 13 votes. Everybody's saying no, we should not sign the Smooch Bandit. I agree. 46% of the vote, 23% of the vote says no, man. And then 31% of the vote says, I believe you get your ass kicked, saying something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a roll, and this is something I kind of enjoyed doing yesterday. We're going to probably put this kind of stuff at the back end of the show just for shits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jacob Sailors. That's right. That's right. Jacob Sailors. That's right, Brent. I totally forgot about that, dude. I totally forgot about Jacob Sailors, bro. So I was kind of thinking it is kind of fun periodically to do a little like culture war room type deal stuff. And this is something that kind of just like salted my nuts a little bit, dude, because it ties into Hulk Hogan. And I'm kind of bummed out about the Hulk Hogan death. You know what I'm saying? Take your vitamins, say your prayers, that type of shit. And I was also a fan of Joey Swole, right? Because I liked the fact this dude would just call out the bullshit that was happening. In gyms with let's be honest, these OnlyFans whores would go to the gym dressed like strippers and then set up a tripod so that it captures 90% of the back view behind them. And then if a guy glanced over at him, then they're trying to cancel this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just that bullshit that was going on. And Joey Swole would call it out, and I appreciated that. But unfortunately, what I think we're seeing now is what's called audience capture, where he's trying to play into a small percentage of what he thinks is the major demographic of his audience, which probably isn't the truth, probably isn't reality, especially when you look at these the top comments. Y'all soft as hell, never bow down to the woke mob. Honestly, bro, I don't think you have anything to apologize for. So Joey Swole he reposted a video where he years ago dressed up in a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume and went and worked out. And then everybody's like, "Ah, Hulk Hogan's a bad man. Rah, he said the naughty little N-word. Bah!" You know what I'm saying? And Joey Swole caved, right? Now, there's probably a reason for that, and that's because, obviously, look at this guy. He's roided up to the fucking gills. You know what I'm saying? He's roided up to the fucking gills, so he has no natural testosterone in his body, and his balls are probably loaded with plastic. His brain's probably loaded with fucking plastic, and unfortunately, he bent the knee. It's never going to work for you, but listen to this video. Oops.
My community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with.
Which is fair. At least he started to defend it, right? At least he started to defend it, but then he caved.
That made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done.
He said a naughty little word once.
Since last night, I have done
well, probably more than once.
I've researched, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and
You pussy. You giant fucking pussy.
I apologize to anybody that I offended. I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated.
Both terms are fucking stupid. Oh, somebody educated. This is what I hate. I educated myself. Somebody educated me. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up, you fucking limp dick loser, yo. God damn.
Me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately.
Yeah, I get it. Saying colored is fucking weird. I think saying person of color is fucking weird. Like, look, man, you got black people, you got white people, you got Asian people, you got Middle Eastern people, you got Latinos, and then just a couple of different variants of it, depending on their geographics. You know what I'm saying? You just got people, man. You just got people, right? Now, I do agree, like, colored it's weird. It's weird. But, like, god damn it, quit with the fragility, yo. Quit letting fucking words run your goddamn life, man. Jesus, jumping up and down.
Apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry.
Pussy.
You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based on holding people accountable and doing better. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human. I am still growing. I am
woke. I'm human. I'm still growing. I'm still educating myself. I'm still trying to be better. Shut the flying fuck up, you candy ass pussy, yo. God damn. I hate that. I hate it when motherfuckers do that shit, yo. You fucking pussy. You fucking pussy, dude. All right, so the chat finished off. We're going to end the poll. 40% of you say, no, we shouldn't sign the smooch bandit. 27% of you say, no, man. And 33% of you say, I believe you get your ass kicked, saying something like that. Appreciate everybody taking part in the poll. That's what's up. Huge gym guy showing a sensitive side. Tell him to F off. Yeah, dude. Exactly, dude. Just fucking, grow your puss. I'm unsubbing from him. Yeah, Mr. Detroit City. Like, that's the thing, dude. It's like, come on, man. Just be a man, dude. Be like, yeah, I said it. And? Yeah, I did it. And? Well, you don't like it? Well, fuck off. I've said things on this channel before that's cost me viewers, subscribers. I don't care. Just fucking be authentic, man. God damn it. I fucking hate posers, dude. I fucking hate posers, man. God damn. Is society really soft now? He lost subs and clicks now. So now he licks. Exactly, Brent. Exactly, dude. He lost a few subs. And he's gonna just. The thing is he lost a few. But now you're gonna lose a shitload. So you just shot. So first, you shot yourself in the foot. Ow, damn, that really sucks. Probably shouldn't do that again. And then he shoots himself in the other goddamn foot. People are fucking stupid, man. People are fucking stupid. Exactly, Mr. Detroit City. Maybe him and Christian Wilkins could hang out together. So today, we talked about former Dolphin star Christian Wilkins released by the Raiders and that the Miami Dolphins should not get hype about a reunion. Then we said, why did Christian Wilkins get released by the Raiders? Well, because he's fat and lazy, and he doesn't want to put in the work to get his generational wealth. He's just being a bum. He's just being a bum. And on top of being a bum, he's being fucking gross. He's being fucking gross. Look, I'm gonna be real. Quit with the gay shit. Just quit with it. Just stop, dude. Up here kissing booths in the shower, smooching dudes on the forehead. What the fuck, man? What is happening to the world, man? Oy vey. Then we talked about what the Lions are projected to start, players, people we should see, who we shouldn't expect not to see in the Week 1 preseason game against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Detroit Lions are going to rest the starters and 2 rookies, probably, versus the Chargers. So I'm looking to see a lot of Tesla action. I'm looking to see a lot of how our secondary offensive line guys play, and I really want to see the depth we have at the defensive end. You guys know I want the Egyptian magician to go bananas, and I also want to see what's going on with our reserves in the secondary. Speaking of the secondary, Terrion Arnold has been banged up all camp. Hamstring injury, calf injury, still grinding it out, though. And, the reality is that what he posted here, the exclamation point emoji, I can't get over the fact that we're calling exclamation points and punctuation emojis now, is basically like, oh, God, let's all freak out over nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's telling you, look, I'm fine. This shit happens. I'm fine. Quit blowing it out of proportion. And then we just wrapped up talking about how Joey Swole is a baby back bitch with steroid-loaded, plastic-filled balls. Mr. Detroit City, you're getting after it today, guys. The chat is funny. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today. Appreciate each and every one of you hanging out, doing your thing. Stay out of trouble. Don't kiss grown men on the forehead, and don't set up kissing booths in locker room showers. Don't be a weirdo. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been attentive audience. Bunga bunga. Frig off.